Hi, my name is Rihanna. The topic I will be talking about today is racial discrimination. Now, what exactly is racial discrimination? Racial discrimination is when a person is treated less favorably than another person because of their race or skin color. Racial discrimination can be seen anywhere around us. For example, in a school, your workplace, and even in a common place such as your neighborhood theater. Racial discrimination has been a constant issue in our world. It can be seen during the cases of police harassment, police shootings, and more. Racial discrimination is also seen in the media aspect, such as movies, TV shows, video games, and more.
She did something that in our society is unspeakable. She kissed a black man. Not an old uncle, but a strong, young Negro man. No code mattered to her before she broke it, but it came crashing down on her afterwards. The evil assumption that all Negroes lie, all Negroes are basically immoral beings, all Negro men are not to be trusted around our women.
Minnie, are you in there?
Yes, ma'am.
And just what are you doing?
Get off my toilet! Oh! You are fired, Minnie Jackson!
As I watched both the movies, I was in shock because I found out how people of color were living their lives back then. They did not have much freedom and was constantly depicted as someone bad, in the case of the movie How to Kill a Mockingbird. No matter the situation, they would always be the criminal no matter what. In the movie The Help, the maids were kind-hearted to their employers and their children, which were the white people. As I've heard many cases in Malaysia where maids would take revenge on their employers by mistreating their children because of the ill treatment they are facing. In my opinion, many white people in the movie did not treat and look at people of color as their equal. They would probably treat a stray dog better. The mistreatment that the people of color were facing made me feel disgusted with humanity. How could one be able to bring themselves to commit such actions? In the past few years, police harassing and racial profiling towards people of color have been brought to light. And if you didn't know what racial profiling is, it is when a police officer stops and questions, or arrests, or search a person solely based on the person's race or skin color. Results show that the chances of a person of color being stopped and questioned by the police compared to someone not of color is higher than any other ethnic group. In a documentary I watched, it was said that some police will randomly stop a person, thus questioning them. This is because the number of contact cards they have collected plays a huge role in deciding whether they get promoted to a higher position or not.
Stop! Put them up! Open your legs!
I didn't want to.
Open your
No,
legs!
okay. No, I didn't.
Weapons on you?
No, I don't have nothing. I was just talking. I was just
What
talking
is
with
this?
It's my phone.
What's in your pocket?
My
Is this
cell
a gun?
phone. No, my phone.
Is that a knife?
My cell phone. I'm the same guy from before.
What guy
I'm the
from
same
before?
guy before. I came 20 minutes early. We had an argument. We hit each other. You didn't do anything. And now when we have this, you're
Yeah.
gonna come and do
No.
something to us? Yes.
Huh?
After watching this video, or experiment, I was angry and shocked at how a police officer violated the rights of someone else. I could practically feel my blood boiling when I heard the police officer ask the man in the video, "What are you wearing?" Like it was a crime to wear a thob, a traditional Arabian clothing. The way the police officer grabbed and pushed the man against the wall was rude and disrespectful. To me, that showed how little respect he has towards people of different races. While I was conducting my research, I came across an inspirational story about a young girl in 1960 named Ruby Bridges. Ruby Bridges, a civil rights pioneer, was the first African American child to attend an all-white public elementary school during the New Orleans school desegregation crisis. Reading about the New Orleans school desegregation crisis told me how severe racial discrimination was back then, where something like education was segregated between people of color and people not of color.
And do not look back, no matter what happens. Don't look back at the crowd.
The governor of the great state of Louisiana says you cannot enter.
Thank you, sir. The President of the United States says that I can.
I felt extremely proud towards Ruby Bridges because of her bravery and courage to face the protesters that were standing outside the school every day. I also felt thankful for Ruby Bridges, the government, and everyone that supported the New Orleans school desegregation, because if it was not for them, maybe now, both people of color and those who aren't would still be segregated. In a survey that I carried out, I found out that out of 8 people, 50% would defend someone if they were being racially discriminated, while 25% would walk away, and the other 25% would be a bystander and do nothing. In my survey, the top 3 factors that cause racial discrimination was cultural beliefs being the first, peer pressure and physical differences tied in second, and third being ignorance. These are the responses I have received of their views of discrimination. In my survey, I also asked, what do you think is the most effective way to decrease racial discrimination? I agreed with most of their responses and was able to understand the topic racial discrimination from the eyes of others.
I think I definitely have been. I've lived in many different countries and I've often been the minority. I think for the majority of my life I've lived in countries where somebody who looks like me and identifies with the particular mix of cultures that I identify with is not the majority in that place. I don't keep track of those moments and I don't hold on to them. I think the first time it ever happened was probably the funniest, which is when I was living in a village in France and I was walking home one day and there was nobody else on the streets. It's a very quiet village, 6,000 people total. And what ended up happening was I was walking on one side, I had a few grocery bags, and then on the same side, so I was walking this way and there was a little old woman, an old French woman walking towards me. And I noticed her and I didn't do anything, but as she came towards me and she looked at me, she kind of looked at me and stopped and then crossed the street and then continued walking. So like I was some big thug and I thought it was so funny because it was me and some groceries. And I looked around to see what she was scared of because I didn't believe that it was me. But she crossed the street because she was scared of me because I was the immigrant. I was a scary person with my grocery bag. And so that was clear, it's discrimination, but it was funny.
It happened when I was around the age of 8, when this Chinese guy came near me and then he asked me why you're very smelly and are all Indians very smelly like you? I would actually defend the person because no one should be discriminated in this world. Everyone deserves equal rights.
Probably I would defend him, but it depends on the situation. Like, because maybe the other person was like aggressive or violent, and in that case, I would just walk away. But if I could step in, I would. For the past 10 years, I believe that racial discrimination was gradually decreasing. Like in America, we had the first black president, and which is a good thing. It's decreasing over time.
I think that it's unfortunate. I think that it definitely occurs everywhere, probably a lot more frequently than we realize, more frequently than I know I realize. I think the key is education. I think that there needs to be more awareness, more education. I think that if people if they learn about each other, learn about different cultures, learn about different ways of living, learn about other countries in the world, then there's nothing to be afraid of anymore. The unknown becomes known and understood, and then there is no reason to discriminate. I think that the whole reason it happens is because people are scared, because people don't understand. And other than that, I feel that there needs to be more of a zero tolerance approach to it, politically at least, which I don't necessarily know how would happen, but that's just how I feel.
Maybe it is because of people thinking that they are superior, and it is also because of the economy. Because as you see in our country, Malaysia, Malays, Chinese and Indians are not treated equally. As you can see, Malays are given much more priority compared with Chinese and Indians. And when there's some racial disputes, Indians are the one who are to be blamed. And they always would be saying that we Indians would be we won't study in class. We would actually create problems and all sorts of other things.
I think discrimination mainly comes from the background, like at home, what your parents teach you, but also like in school, then education. I think these factors, they play a significant role, and I think that children from a young age should be educated to understand that discrimination shouldn't be in our societies.
In my opinion, everyone has to play a part to decrease and ultimately stop racial discrimination or even discrimination in general from happening. You play a big part in changing the world and society.